Hello everyone, welcome back. This time we're diving into the sinister and gritty world of Phyrexia. I was chatting with one of my subscribers, Mehdi, and he showed me his phenomenal Selesnya All Will Be One deck, and I can tell you that this deck rocks. Not only is this the ultimate toxic Phyrexia deck, but I'm totally convinced that this has also diamond potential. So in this deck I just made 3 minor changes. The original list had 4 copies of Tyrranax Rex. In my opinion, this card is too expensive to run that many copies and you should focus more on the early game. If we hit the opponent hard at the beginning, there is basically no chance to survive the toxic counters. I included 2 copies of Skrelv, the Factor Might, to give our creatures more protection, especially because this works perfectly with Venerated Rotpriest, and 1 copy of Incisor Glitter to make our small Phyrexian tokens even more deadly. And as you can see, we will demolish the opponent by giving them toxic counters as fast as possible until they bloat. I'm a huge fan of this world, and in my opinion this is also what MTG stands for. Dark, ruthless, alien-like monsters are attacking. It's just insane, and the synergy between those little creatures is outstanding. Every little piece fits perfectly into another. For me, the most underestimated creature with the biggest impact is Slaughter Singer. This card turns your small creature into menacing, lethal Phyrexians, and not only does it already have Toxic 2, but whenever another creature with Toxic attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Just imagine having 2 of them on the battlefield. And the opponent will feel a painful sting every time they try to remove one of our Phyrexians, because we have Venerated Rotpriest with Toxic 1. This Phyrexian druid gives our opponent a poison counter whenever they target one of our creatures. So every time they try to kill something, it hurts them even more, because the 20 life points does not really matter, but rather the 10 poison counters. And then, as I mentioned already, Skrelv the Factor Might with Toxic 1 gives protection from a color. A hidden gem is definitely Canker Bloom. I didn't even notice this creature until I saw it in Mehdi's deck, and it's so good. For 2 mana you get a free 2 creature, but its ability is what really matters. We can sacrifice it to destroy a target artifact or enchantment, or we can even proliferate. This creature is excellent, especially when we are very close to winning and just need that 1 extra counter. Jawbone Duelist is crazy if we also have Slaughter Singer on the battlefield. Because of double strike, it basically applies Toxic twice if it hits the opponent, and if we have 2 Slaughter Singers, it can deal a total of 12 damage. Then we have also Bloated Contaminator for 3 mana. This creature is also amazing. It's so strong. For 3 mana we get a 4/4 creature with Trample and Toxic 1, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, we proliferate. Tyrranax Rex is the ultimate finisher. It can't be countered, it has haste, ward 4, trample and toxic 4. So if this creature gets through, it's basically game over for the opponent. With Skrelv's Hive and Mirrex we create 1/1 colorless Phyrexians. Once the opponent has 3 or more poison counters, all creatures with toxic gain also lifelink. That's brutal, so the artifact Staff of Copulation makes perfect sense in this block deck. We can proliferate or draw cards and don't have to fear losing life points. To get rid of creatures or planeswalkers we have Ossification, 4 copies. I'm still shocked that this costs only 2 mana. We can easily exile a creature or planeswalker by attaching it to a land. And then we also have Infectious Bite and a board wipe with White Sun's Twilight. We also run 1 planeswalker, Nissa Ascendant Animist, that normally costs 5 mana, but if we pay 4 life, it enters with 7 loyalty counters, and if we will pay that with mana, then it enters with 2 more for each. First, we can create a huge 8/8 Phyrexian token. With -1 we can destroy a target artifact or enchantment, and with -7 all creatures we control get +1/+1 for each forest we control. In total we are running 24 lands, including the Fair Basilica and the Hunter Maze, 2 copies, which we can sacrifice to draw a card, and of course Mirrex to create Phyrexian tokens. And finally we have a great dual land for a block deck, that's the Reservoir Thicket. In the sideboard we have the other copies of Tyrranax Rex, so overall this deck is very well balanced, fast and deadly. It makes those small Phyrexian creatures even more dangerous. We can exile creatures and planeswalkers, and we can also protect our board. In my opinion this is a very strong block deck, so congrats Mehdi for this phenomenal build, and yeah, now let's play some games.